A beautiful morning, my dear children. I welcome you all to our physics classroom again. We are discussing the chapter 8, motion. And we discussed the displacement, distance, speed and frame of reference. And I'm so happy to be here. Why? Because all of you did the works that I had given, and most of you did very nicely, completed the work very nicely, and some of you have some doubts. So for that clarification, I'm just discussing all the questions here. See, the first question was, an object has moved through a distance. Can it have zero displacement? If yes, support your answer with an example. That was the question. And obviously, the displacement can be zero. Why? Because so many of you write it very nicely, and it was suppose a point A, and if it is moving in any direction, then if it is come again to the same position, then displacement will become zero. So that is the answer for the first question. Then second question. Second question was, a farmer moves along the boundary of a square feet of a side 10 meter in 40 seconds. A square boundary, it will be, suppose this is a square boundary, and this is 10 meter, 10 meter, 10 meter, and this is also 10 meter. Then the farmer covers the boundary for 40 seconds. And the question is that, what will be the magnitude of displacement? They are asking the displacement of the farmer at the end of 2 minutes 20 seconds. If the farmer is moving, suppose the farmer is moving from this side, this corner, and he completed one round at 40 seconds. Then how much round he will, or what is the displacement? That is the question. What is the displacement if he covers 2 minutes 20 seconds? 2 minutes 20 seconds. You know that 2 minutes means 6 plus 60. 60 plus 60 plus 20 seconds. 1 minute is 60 seconds. 1 minute 60 seconds and 20 seconds. So total it will be 6 plus 6 12. 12 plus 2 14. 140 seconds. So the question is, after 140 seconds, what will be the displacement? That is the question. And let us see. For one round, he took 40 seconds. So in 140 seconds, how much round he will take? So it is 140 divided by 40. 0 and 0 will cancel. 1 4 is 4, and here 3 4s are 12 point, and balance here 2, then 20, then 3.5 rounds. He took 3.5 rounds. So first round, first 40 seconds he covered completely, then next 40 seconds, next completely, third 40 seconds also he completely completed it. Then the last one, the half round. I will explain it more. You know that 140 seconds means 40, 40, then 40, then 20. First 40 second, one round, then next 40 second, second round, next 40 second, third round, and next he has only 20 seconds. So he took only half round. Half round means, suppose the person is starting from here, he will go this corner and he will reach us here. He reaches this point. Then this is the displacement. This is the displacement, and we have to know the value of this area. Value of this area. And suppose it is a triangle and this is hypotenuse, then we can say that Suppose if you are giving the variable x here, x square is equal to 10 square plus 10 square. X square is equal to 10 square plus 10 square. Then x is equal to root of 10 square plus 10 square is equal to root of 10 square is equal to 100 plus 10 square 100 is equal to root of 200. Then again we can write 200 is equal to 100 into 2. We can give the values 100 into 2 is equal to 200. Then we can take the 100 outside, then it will come 10 and root 2 will remain there. So the displacement is 10 root 2 meter. The value of x is equal to 10 root 2 meter. This is the answer for your second question. Then the third question, which of the following is true for displacement? First option, it cannot be 0. Second option, its magnitude is greater than the distance traveled by the object. Obviously, these two answers are wrong. It cannot be 0, first option. It's wrong. Why? Because displacement can be 0. And next one, its magnitude, the magnitude of the displacement is greater than distance. Never. It never happens. The magnitude of distance might be greater than, but the magnitude of displacement cannot be greater than. And the last question was the importance of reference, frame of reference. What is important of, or why we are choosing the frame of reference? The answer is, if the motion, if you want to explain, we need an observer. We need a frame of reference. And this term we discussed in last class. I think there is no need more explanation for that. And today we are talking briefly about motion. Suppose an object, suppose it is a straight line and this is the point A and this is the point B, and one object or one person is traveling from A and he travels from A and reaches at B. First of all, first 5 seconds he started from here, from 0 seconds he started, and first 5 seconds he covered at 10 meter, and next then 10 seconds, next 10 seconds he reaches at 20 meter, he covered 20 meter total. Then next 15 seconds he reaches at 30 meter, 30. Then next 20 seconds he reaches at 40 meter, he covered 40 meter. Then next 25 seconds, suppose he covered 50 meter, he reaches at the destination. B is the destination, so the object is traveling from A and reaching at B. Look at this incident. See here, first 5 seconds he covered 10 meter. First 5 seconds he covered 10 meter. Then next 5 seconds, 5 to 10, next 5 seconds also he covered 10 meter. And here also, this all cases he covers 5 seconds, he covers 10 meter. 10 meter in 5 seconds. Here also 10 meter 5 seconds, and here also 10 meter 5 seconds. Object covered, total covered 50 meter within 25 seconds. But in between here he took 5 second, 5 second, 5 second, 5 second, 5 second, the equal interval of time and in equal distance. He took equal distance in equal interval of time. This type of motion, the distance equal distance in equal interval of time. This type of motion is known as uniform motion. And suppose the same object or another object, whatever, is moving different distance. Suppose that is 10, then he took 30 meter, then 32, he covered 32, then 40, then 50. Suppose it is like this. Then we can't say it covered equal distance in equal interval of time. We can't say he covered equal distance in equal interval of time. So this type of motion is known as non-uniform motion. Non-uniform motion. So there are two types of motion. First one, uniform motion. Second one, non-uniform motion. What is meant by uniform motion? Uniform motion means the object covers equal distance in equal interval of time. Non-uniform motion means if the object covers unequal distance in equal interval of time. So now study distance, displacement, and speed. Unit of distance is meter, unit of displacement also meter, unit of speed it is meter per second. Today we are discussing a new term. It is known as velocity. What is meant by velocity? See the distance. What is my distance? Just the path covered, the travel by an object. Displacement is the difference between initial and final points. And while we are dividing distance by time, we will get the equation for speed. And velocity means the displacement by time. The rate of change of displacement. The rate of change of displacement is known as velocity. And the unit, it is same as of speed. So it is meter per second. And then what is the difference between speed and velocity? If you want to talk about distance, it does not mean the direction. You studied. But in the case of displacement, it will always be a straight line. So we have to talk about this direction. So velocity means if we consider the speed with direction, then it is known as velocity. Then it is said to be velocity. Velocity is speed with direction. And suppose an object is moving like this and reaches at a point B, starting from A and reaches at B. Then the distance, the speed, you can see that in the figure, the distance, this is the distance, and we don't know how much time he had taken, and you can see that the speed through the distance, the path, the speed might not be equal. The speed does not be equal. The speed may vary. Okay, so how we can find out the total speed? The total speed of this condition is known as average speed. Average speed is total distance divided by total time taken. Total time taken. Average speed is equal to total distance divided by total time taken. Suppose an object reaches at B at 30 meter per second. Suppose the average speed is 30 meter per second. It does not mean he took throughout his path 30 meters second. 30 meter per second. It does not mean throughout his path he took 30 meter per second. The average speed is equal to 30 meter per second. Then what is meant by average velocity? In case the velocity is changing at uniform rate, then average velocity is equal to initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. Initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. So what is meant by average speed? Average speed is equal to the total distance by total time taken. And average velocity is equal to initial velocity plus final velocity by 2. Say, suppose an object is moving in a straight line. The change in velocity will become 0. The change in velocity will become 0. But suppose it is in non-uniform motion. If it is in non-uniform motion, then the change in velocity will not be 0. The velocity will varies on particular time. So it won't be 0. Then in that time, how we can express the change in velocity? For expressing that, we are using another term. It is known as acceleration. Acceleration means it is equal to a change in velocity. Change in velocity by time. Change in velocity by time. Acceleration is equal to change in velocity by time. Means change in velocity means final velocity minus initial velocity. Suppose we are giving the symbol V for final velocity and U for initial velocity, then acceleration is equal to V minus U divided by small letter t. And for acceleration we are giving the symbol A. So A is equal to V minus U divided by t. A for acceleration, V for final velocity, U for initial velocity and t for time. Then what is the unit for acceleration? What will be the unit for acceleration? Acceleration means it is velocity by time. So the unit of velocity, it is equal to meter per second, then divided by time. The unit of velocity is meter per second, that we are giving in the numerator, and the unit of time, it is second. So second into second is equal to second square. So we can write meter per second square. So acceleration, the unit of acceleration is equal to meter per second square. And the acceleration, it will be positive. It may positive or negative. If the acceleration is taking in the direction of velocity, then it is positive, and if it is opposite to the direction of the velocity, we can take it in negative. For example, if a train reaches at a railway station, you know that it does not stop suddenly. It will take time. It will decrease, or slowly it will be stop. That decreasing velocity, you know that velocity is, don't worry, but by hearing that word velocity, just imagine that speed with direction. Velocity is nothing but speed with direction. Velocity is speed with direction. So whenever I am telling velocity, you just have to think it is speed. But we are considering the direction also. So in the case of this train, it is moving, it is coming to the station and it will decrease its velocity. The changing in velocity. That changing velocity is explained by the term acceleration. It is changing velocity. And next case, suppose it starts from the railway station. It started to move. You know that it won't go suddenly. It also will take time. So it will increase its velocity and the train will move. So this is about acceleration. The next is uniform acceleration and non-uniform acceleration. There are two types of acceleration, uniform and non-uniform acceleration. What is meant by uniform acceleration? If the change in velocity is changing uniformly, if the change in velocity is changing uniformly, then we can say that acceleration. Change in velocity means velocity may increase or velocity may decrease. If it is increased uniformly, we can say uniform acceleration. If it is decreasing uniformly, then also we can say it is uniform acceleration. The best example for that is free fall of a body from a height. A body, suppose a body is falling, then it is uniform, it has uniform acceleration, that we can say. Then whatever non-uniform acceleration, the change in velocity, not uniformly. The just opposite case of the uniform acceleration is non-uniform acceleration. So we discuss about distance and displacement, speed, velocity, and acceleration. We discussed the terms distance, displacement, speed, velocity and acceleration. What is the speciality of these terms, or how we can classify these terms in two categories? First of all, let's take the term distance. Suppose if you want to find out the distance, we only need the magnitude. An object is moving and suppose it is reaching at B, then total it covers 10 meters to reach its destination. Then suppose if you are talking about the distance, we can say that a person covered 10 meters. A person covered 10 meters. Only we need the magnitude. But if we want to explain in the term of displacement, we want to tell the direction also. If you want to explain this movement in displacement, the term of displacement, we want to talk about the direction also. Means the displacement. If you are explaining the displacement, we want to tell it is towards left or east, towards left or towards east, or towards north or towards south, like that. In the case of displacement, if you are explaining this motion or this movement in the term of displacement, we want to explain or express the direction also. The object, it is moved 10 meters towards east or towards left or towards right or towards north or towards south, whatever. We want to tell the direction. Commonly the direction is north, south, east, west, not left and right. Okay. Commonly generally we are using north, east, west, south direction. So if you want to explain the displacement, we want to explain or we want to mention the direction also. 10 meter, the object covers 10 meter towards west, or the object moves 10 meter towards west, or the object moves 10 meters towards east. We want to mention there should be the displacement, there should be mention in the direction in the case of displacement. And what about speed? Speed is distance by time. It does not need the direction in the case of speed. But in the case of velocity, we need the direction. If the direction changes, velocity also will become changes. For example, an object is moving in random manner, then C. This is D and this is C. The object starts from C and reaches at D. Then random motion, we can see here in this path length, it is random motion. The speed, we can say it is total distance by total time, total distance whatever. Suppose it is taking 50 meter, total distance is 50 meter. But the velocity, it is changing, the direction, here the velocity is changing and here the direction of this also, the direction are changing here. So the velocity is changing. So in the case of velocity also we want to talk about or we want to mention the term direction. And what about acceleration? Acceleration also need the direction. I told you if it is positive acceleration when in the direction of velocity, and it will become negative if it is in the opposite direction of the velocity. So acceleration also need the direction. It will say positive or negative, the acceleration. So these type of terms which need magnitude only. Here the distance and speed. The distance and speed need only the magnitude. But here the displacement, velocity and acceleration need magnitude plus direction. What is meant by magnitude? Simply numerical measurement. 10 kilometer or 10 kilometer per second, like that. But in the case of displacement, velocity and acceleration, we should mention the direction also. So these type of quantities we can categorize by scalar quantity and vector quantity. Scalar quantity and vector quantity. Examples for scalar quantity are distance and speed. Vector quantities are displacement, velocity, acceleration. Example, these are example, more than these are there as an example for vector quantities, but here you just study that examples are displacement, velocity and acceleration. So can you now define the term scalar quantity? What is meant by scalar quantity? The quantities which need only the magnitude, is known as the quantity which need only the magnitude is known as scalar quantity. And when we are considering the magnitude plus direction, magnitude as well as direction or magnitude and direction, then that type of quantity is known as vector quantities. Example for vector quantities are displacement, velocity and acceleration. Now, this time for conclusion of the topic. First of all, distance. We studied distance. What is my distance? Simply the path length or the path traveled by the object. And speed is equal to distance by time. And displacement, initial, the difference between final point and initial point. And velocity is equal to displacement by time or rate of displacement is known as velocity. And what is meant by acceleration? Acceleration is change in velocity divided by time. change in velocity by time is known as acceleration. After that, we studied vector quantities and scalar quantities. What is vector quantity? Vector quantities are the quantities in which we are considering both magnitude and direction. And scalar quantities are in which we are considering only the magnitude. So in this session, we studied motion, uniform motion and non-uniform motion, the distance, displacement, speed, velocity, acceleration, and vector quantities and scalar quantities. I hope you could follow me well. Okay children, I am winding up. Thank you.